I'm just a guy who loves Disney that has way too much time on his hands. If anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I'm here to rate, review, and describe all of your favorite things from the magical world of Disney. I'm File91e and welcome to my Disney News and Reviews. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Disney News and Reviews. I'm File91e. And a pretty even week for me this week, guys. Nothing too crazy going down. A lot of just whatever is happening. Just a tough week at work. A pretty busy weekend. I saw Godzilla last night. That was pretty good. Went and saw $1 Million Arm today so I could review it for you tonight. But other than that, it's just a lot of running around. It was just an even week for me. I do have the Where in the World answer for you. Last week it was One Man's Dream. That was Walt's office you were looking at. It's just an exact recreation of Walt's office, so that's pretty cool. That's one of my favorite parts of One Man's Dream. Very, very good section there. Coming up, we're still doing this movie month. I have a couple movies that I'm going to be seeing this month. That I want to be reviewing. One of them is $1 Million Arm, and the next one will be Maleficent, which is at the end of the month. So that should be pretty cool. What else? I think that's it. I mean, I really didn't do too much this week. Aside from just getting ready for Disneyland, the only thing I've started to do for Disneyland is actually I've gone out and walked more. I've been working out. Just because it's going to Disney World is kind of taxing on your body, and I'm a big guy, so I want to make sure that I'm okay when I go to Disney World. So, that's what I've been doing. Oh, I actually did. I finally caved and got Frozen. There will be an unboxing coming up soon after this. This is the collector's edition. This is the first actual DVD that I got in a while. Because of Disneyland, I've been saving up and all my money and using it for the for this and that, getting ready for the the trip. But I finally had I got enough money that I decided I was just going to go ahead get Frozen, and I'm really excited about that. It's a great movie. Getting a little sick and tired of the Frozen soundtrack, though. It seems to be everywhere, and as great as it is, it's just too much for me. So. Good Lord. Anywho, be on the lookout, like I said, for an unboxing on that. Just keep an eye out for that. That's what's been going on with me this week. So let's get right to the news. The first week of Star Wars weekends began this past week, and there are a slew of photos and videos showing all of the fun that is going on down there. Be sure to check out, sites like www.magic.com or Inside the Magic here on YouTube for those photos and videos. They got they have a lot of stuff that you could possibly check out. All the fun, the motorcades and different things like that, the shows. So it looks to be pretty fun. The unprecedented popularity of Frozen character appearances and merchandise has caused a change to the Magic Kingdom's morning rope drop procedure. In an attempt to stop the guests desperate to be the first in line at the Frozen meet and greet from running through the park, guests are now being slowly walked along Main Street USA behind a rope all the way through to Fantasyland. Before this new rope drop procedure was put in place, guests were sprinting along the Main Street USA, cutting through stores and doing whatever it took to be the first in line at the Princess Fairy Tale Hall. Even the merchandise location selling Frozen items. These stores are frequently selling out of merchandise despite having a 5 identical item per person limit. The Frozen meet and greet with Elsa and Anna routinely has standby wait times in the 200-minute region, even though FastPass Plus is now also available. So I mean, that's just outrageous. It just goes to show the immense popularity that is that came from Frozen. I don't think any movie that we've seen recently has affected or impacted Disney the way Frozen has. I actually read a thing in the news this week where they said that, or where Disney said that they could potentially drag this whole Frozen thing out for another 5 years. So it's going to be interesting to see where they take this with a merchandising standpoint. And I mean, it doesn't seem to be slowing down at all. So people who love Frozen, you guys are going to be keeping up with it, especially now it's on Once Upon a Time on ABC. So it's pretty crazy stuff. Pretty crazy stuff. Guests staying at Disney's Polynesian Resort during the main Nanea Volcano Pool refurbishment will receive a complimentary day at Blizzard Beach Water Park. The refurbishment is expected to begin in late July 2014 through to early 2015, although precise dates are not yet available. The Nanea Volcano Pool is set to receive several enhancements, including expanding to include a new aquatic playground with slides for children, a hot tub, and a larger deck with more seating for guests. The pool area will be closed, obviously, or the pool area will close at the end of July. Also being changed is the Pineapple Lanai food and beverage kiosk, which will be opening later this year, offering tropical treats, including the Dole Whip. Good stuff there. And finally, the newly refurbished Children's Activity Center at Disney's Polynesian Resort will be opening to guests on June 17th, formerly known as the Neverland Club. The new activity center is inspired by the classic Disney Little Golden books. Children will be able to take part in crafts, dress up, and story time. The Neverland Club closed in early in January 2014 to begin the refurbishment. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on in the Polynesian Resort this week. So that's the news for this week. Let's get right to the reviews. Alright guys, it is movie month, so I want to be trying to review one older movie, hopefully one that you haven't seen before, and one newer movie, hopefully one that is kind of out there now, because there are two sides to Disney. So the first thing I want to review this week is the 1965 film classic. Can you hear the sarcasm? The 1965 movie The Monkey's Uncle, starring Annette Funicello and Tommy Kirk. Now, some of you might know this because of the song that is associated with this movie. That's pretty much the only thing that this movie spawned that is uber popular. The Monkey's Uncle here. It's weird because back in the 60s, obviously, Disney was doing a lot of stuff. And Disney had to make money somehow, and they would put out a movie pretty much every year, or two, 3 movies a year, if they have them in production, to try to fund keep the studio going, and mainly put some money in the bank so that they can do some of the bigger movies. Back in the 60s and 70s, there were a plethora of terrible movies that Disney put out just to kind of make a quick buck. Now, The Monkey's Uncle is actually a sequel to the movie The Misadventures of Merlin Jones. Tommy Kirk plays Merlin Jones in that, and Annette Funicello is his girlfriend. And they go through a whole bunch of things where, a whole bunch of, misadventures. He's a genius, and he's in college, and he's always coming up with different things. Like, I think in that one, he did, brain waves, where he read people's minds, that sort of stuff. And it actually was a surprise hit in 1964. I think mainly because Annette was in it. She was a very popular, celebrity back then. She had a lot of, Disney really plugged her. They did music and all that stuff. She had some songs, and it was just a big thing for her. So that makes a ton of money. And what is Disney going to do? Of course, they're going to try to make a sequel, try to cash in on this. So this is a sequel. The Monkey's Uncle is a sequel to that. This type of movie is what I call a gag movie, where there really isn't a whole lot of story. It's more just gags strung together and enough of story to keep them kind of molded in the same line, to keep them straight. The way this works is, or the way this movie is, Tommy Kirk, again, is Merlin Jones, and he is in college. The football team is in danger of being eliminated because of grades, so the judge is one of the board of directors of the college, comes to Merlin and says, "I need your help. Figure out a way of helping the football team members learn so that they can keep their grades up." So he comes up with this way of learning through sleeping, which is basically just playing a record while the guys sleep, and they remember what is on that record, to help them with their tests. It's a legal way of cheating. Some stuff happens. In the end, the football players pass, and it's great. He's now inducted into this fraternity that Annette wanted him to be in. And it's weird because the movie then fades to black and then fades back in. It's almost like it's the second episode on this disc, even though it is a full 90-minute movie. It's like two adventures in one disc, and it just didn't seem joined. But anyway, the common theme is that the football team is going to be eliminated if they don't, raise this certain amount of money. The guy wants him to, create a human-powered flying machine, and he tried and failed. He realized he needed to get somebody's adrenaline up, so he creates this adrenaline serum, and he flies. But the guy winds up being a crock. He's insane, so he doesn't have any money to give. And, it all blows up in their face, but everybody has a ha 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 moment, ha ha, right at the end. Oh, that's funny. That sort of thing. So that's pretty much the story. Everybody lives happily ever after. Now, the reason why they call it the monkey's uncle is because, yes, there is a chimpanzee in the movie. And why? Well, because back in the day, kids, talking animals and acting animals were hilarious. Yeah. Helen, come here. Look at the monkey. It's funny. Look at him. He's just dancing. He has a glass. He looks like a kid. He looks like a human being. Oh my God, isn't that hilarious? Oh, what are they gonna come up with next, Disney? You are hilarious. You really are. Yeah. See, that's the way I think people were. Today, talking monkeys and stuff like that, acting monkeys, hey, look, it really wouldn't pass. So the monkey would act, and the whole title of the monkey's uncle is that Tommy Kirk is the monkey's uncle. He adopted the monkey, or tried to adopt the monkey, because the monkey is smarter than other people, and that's the joke, and it's stupid. But yes, there's a monkey in it for the kids, to make it funny for the kids. Now, like I said, Annette sang a song called "The Monkey's Uncle" with the Beach Boys backing her up, which is that's no slouch. The Beach Boys are the Beach Boys. They're great, right? And the song is okay. It's very 60s, very Beach Boys like. I don't know, like the 60s music had a certain sound, like the way they sang, the way they played their instruments. So it's a very 60s tune. It's called "The Monkey's Uncle." And it was a huge smash hit, and everybody loved it. And it was one of Disney's, or the Disney company's best songs. So that is basically, the takeaway from this movie. It was actually written by the Sherman Brothers, so no wonder it's great. And what's funny is this is actually Annette Funicello's and Tommy Kirk's last feature film for the Disney company before they went off and did their own thing. Kind of a fitting end for them to end on a good note, technically, for the movie. It made about $4 million, and I think it was produced for less, so it was a little bit of money in the bank for Disney, and at least they got some some royalties from the the song, so that always helped. So that is the Monkey's Uncle movie. It's cool to watch, because these old movies are just, like they're out there, but nobody knows about them. So hopefully, if you get a chance to see this movie and you're a big Disney fan and you like Disney history, you might like this movie just to see it, because it has Tommy Kirk in it, that the Disney guy, and Annette Funicello, who, if you don't know, is one of the highest known Mouseketeers in Disney history. So that's why both of them are important. So the acting was whatever it is. It's very 60s, very old Disney acting, and the production is very 60s. You can see the strings and the wires and all the gags and stuff. Very classic Disney slapstick comedy that really wouldn't hold up today in any which way, shape, or form. But I'm sure it made people laugh in the back in the day. But it wouldn't hold up today either. So I guess that's pretty much it for The Monkey's Uncle. So what am I going to give The Monkey's Uncle? I'm going to give it 2 stars. It's not really something you have to see, but if you are a Disney fan, it's good to, or a Disney history fan, you might want to check it out. There's no really redeeming quality for this movie. It's an old 60s Disney movie. Although what was really cool about this DVD was that it opened up with the Disney's Wide World of Color intro, which I thought was excellent. I mean, I thought that was the best part of the whole thing. I stopped in my tracks when I saw that. And then once the movie started, I just was like, that whole thing. So yeah, if you're a Disney fan or a Disney history fan, check this out. If not, you can skip it. But there are some funny parts in it that I chuckled at, but for the most part, it's a frou-frou film, and you can go either way with it. So The Monkey's Uncle, 1965, 2 stars. Anyway, the next thing I want to talk about today is $1 Million Arm. This is Disney's newest live-action release. It literally just came out yesterday, or if you're watching this tomorrow, then it came out 2 days ago. Kind of what happened. I went and saw it today, so it's fresh in my mind, and overall I thought it was pretty good. It stars Jon Hamm, Bill Paxton, Lake Bell, Suraj Sharma, Madhur Mittal, Alan Arkin, and Asif Mandavi. You know these people because they've been in things recently, obviously, but I'll get into that later. And it's basically a movie. It's an inspirational sports movie about the first 2 Indian baseball players. They were pitchers that were brought over from India, and basically it's just their story of how they were found and how they adjusted to life in America. But there's more to it, but I'll get into that later. Overall, I like sports movies. I love because they're usually inspirational. They never really play or make a terrible, uninspirational sports movie. But I also like movies that are set in India. I love the Indian culture. I think it's great. I really loved Slumdog Millionaire because they was over in India. It was shot well. The music was outstanding. So I really dug that. And there was a lot of location shooting in with this movie, and it really was nice as well. Like I said, this stars Jon Hamm. He is J.B. Bernstein, who is a sports agent who has to go over to India to find baseball players. He's a struggling sports agent. That's a big thing, and he somehow gets this this idea that India is an untapped market for baseball players. There's 1 billion people over there, so there has to be some good people who know how to throw a baseball over there. So he found some financial backers, and using the kind of a reality TV show called $1 Million Arm, they toured India to find people who were good enough to throw baseballs. And after touring through all the major places of India, they found 16 people, and they whittled it down to 2 people. One of them won, and then the other one was in second place, also received some money, but both of them got won a tryout for a Major League Baseball team because they could throw above 80 miles per hour in the mid-80s, which is a pretty good, it's a pretty good pitch. So they come back over to America, and the rest of the movie is about them adjusting to America and him adjusting to them, and they all kind of change each other. They try to change into better baseball players, and he changes it from kind of a jerk who slept with models and did stuff like that into a guy who was respectable, landed a steady girlfriend who respected other things rather than just work. So that obviously you're going to have you you can't have an inspirational sports movie without the inspiration, and that's where it comes down. You know, where it comes down to with that movie. You know, just believing in yourself and believing in others, and you know, giving more of yourself, you know, to others, to help others, than they give to you. You know, it's like that sort of thing. Basically, just don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk. That's what you know, what I got from the movie. Bill Paxton plays a you know, the coach that helps both of the men pitch. Lake Bell is the love interest to J.B. Bernstein. She you know, kind of inspire him and helps change him as well. Very cool. You know, sort of thing there. Suraj Sharma, you know him from Life of Pi. He was the main character in Life of Pi. Did a great job. And then you got Madhur Mittal. He was also in Slumdog Millionaire and just killed it. Did you know, a great job. He was. Those are the two pitchers. Alan Arkin showed up for about 5 minutes. You know, to be his Alan Arkin stuff. I'm Alan Arkin. I know pitching. What? Wow. Whoa. Wow, he can pitch. Here, I'm Alan Arkin. That sort of thing. And then you got Asaf Mandavi, who is the assistant to J.B. Bernstein, and you know, he did a great job. You know, he's a comedian, he's an actor. You know, he's done some great stuff. Now, the biggest takeaway for me from the movie, aside from the good location shooting, was the music. The music was done by A.R. Rahman, who was an Oscar winner, who won an Oscar for Slumdog Millionaire, the music in that, and it just was killer. The music in this was killer. I knew it was really good when I was sitting there. I was humming it and tapping my feet, and I was like, who did this? Who did this? You know, and I stayed after the credits to see who did it, and sure enough, A.R. Rahman did a great score. You know, I think the soundtrack is out now. I highly recommend you go check it out, especially if you're into like, you know, Indian music. But his music is different. Like, it's classical, but it also has a modern twinge to it. So he just, you know, he killed it with this, and it was awesome. Now, one thing I did notice about the movie was the Indian-American relationship in the movie. Like, there wasn't one, you know, like one country didn't outweigh the other. Like, there wasn't, you know, an overall feeling of America is better, so, you know, we're taking these and people and making them better. There was a huge respect for or at least I thought I saw for the for the country of India. You know, they showed, like, you know, just how beautiful India can be and just how difficult it can be over there. But even then, it has its own unique beauty. You know, they were very respectful of the religions and things like that, and just like there wasn't anything that, like, you know, like that made us seem like America is better and all that stuff. Even though he was a jerk, he never really came off like stereotypical that way, and there wasn't really any stereotypical Indian stuff, you know, like that you might think, you know, that some other movies have done. So I thought that was really nice. The fact that it was very evenly balanced and very, very well done. And overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I love those sports movies. What was the other one? Invincible was another Disney, you know, sports movie. There was that basketball one. That was pretty neat. You know, so Disney does the sports movies because I think people love to watch those inspirational sports movies. You know, because they're fun and everybody loves a good happy ending, and Disney's is all about that. And this was pretty recent too. I mean, all this stuff actually happened in real life around 2008. So, I mean, that was what, 6 years ago. So, you know, what happened in the movie, or at least in the end, one of them is still with the Pittsburgh Pirates, I think. The other one is actually teaching or coaching baseball in India, and he is widely regarded as one of their some kids' heroes and things like that. So, you know, it's just kind of neat, you know, to see what happens in real life and how the drama of that real life stuff can really translate well to the screen. Now, is it Gone with the Wind or The Godfather? I don't think so, but it's still fun and you know, very enjoyable, and I found it quite enjoyable. There you go. So what am I going to give $1 Million Arm? That's in theaters right now. You should go check it out. I'm going to give this 3 stars. I would give it 3.5, but I'm not I don't do 0.5s. So I always round down to to whatever that is. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5. But I do want you guys to go check this out. It's not a bad movie by any means. If you don't see it in theaters, wait for it to come on DVD. Check it out then. Get it on Redbox, whatever. Disney will get a kickback for that, whatever it is. But check it out. It's in the same vein as the movie Invincible and inspirational sports movies like that. People always watch it. People always go, oh, that's cool, and it's just it's good like that. So check out $1 Million Arm. I really don't think you will be disappointed, especially if you're into the Indian culture and whatnot. I thought they did a good job, with that, because the first third of the movie is them going to India. The second third is them adjusting, and then the final third is them making the team. So that's sort of kind of how it goes. So. But yeah, overall thought it was great. I urge you guys to go see it. It's out now in theaters, and if you get a chance to go see it, check it out. So $1 Million Arm in theaters right now, 3 stars. Check it out. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Disney News Reviews. Again, stay tuned for the Frozen unboxing that will come out soon. Again, check out $1 Million Arm. It's in theaters right now. Very good movie. I urge you guys to go check that out. And if anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I want people to go and check out The Monkey's Uncle if they can. Very historic movie, even though I don't quite think it's worth it. If you're into Disney history, you might think it's kind of neat. And again, go check out $1 Million Arm. It is in theaters right now. And if you're going to Disney World, be sure to go to allers.net, touringplans.com, wdwmagic.com for our latest and greatest Disney news, especially the stuff from the Star Wars weekends. They have everything. WaltDisneyWorld.com is good too, along with Passporter.com. They are some other good sites that you might find interesting. And yeah, that's it for me this week. We're going to continue with Movie May next week with some 2 more movies. And I hope you will enjoy that. So I'll see you guys next week for another Disney News and Reviews. And guys, where am I this week? Bye.